Hey everybody, this is Matt from Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews, and today I'm going to be going over my list of books that I'm going to be reading in the month of August. This is unfortunately going to be a little bit of a smaller video than normal because I'm not reading very many books. I'm only planning on reading 6 books this month. The reason is the books I'm reading are very long, especially one of them that I'll get to. But, you know, the average length book that I normally read is about 500 pages. And every book, except for one of them, is above that, and some of them are way above that. So I'll get started, and I'm going to mention the date that I'm going to finish the book, and I'm always really close to that date. I read a very consistent amount each day. So I'm starting off reading, it's a book that I'm currently reading, but I'm not going to finish it until August. And that is Mother of Learning, Arc 1. This is by Domagoj Kurumik. Really bad with these names. Sometimes I've never heard it out loud. I've only read it. But I'm going to be finishing that on August 2nd. That book is about 200,000 words and 644 pages. And I am really liking this book so far. I started out not really digging it. But it took a nice turn. It finally started getting into its groove. The writing style itself I'm not thrilled with so far, but the plot is so engaging, it really pulls you in. I don't think I'm ruining anything about this book because it's right there in the description of it, but this is think of like a fantasy version of like Groundhog's Day, where this character is reliving the same events over and over and over again, and he's trying to piece together the mystery of why this is happening. It is a very much like an epic fantasy book with this kind of like magic school setting, and it's really exciting. I thought when I've heard about this book that the whole repeat aspect would get very repetitive, but it doesn't. It keeps it very fresh, and I'm very much like on this, can't wait to read page after page. It doesn't leave you on cliffhangers, but it does give you that sense of like longing to keep reading this book. And that's the feeling you want. So even though the writing style is not, up to par with like the greats of fantasy, the plot is there and I'm really engaged with it. I predicted that I would give this book a 4 out of 5 stars before I started reading it. And I'd say if I was to grade it right now, it'd be in that 4.5 range. So pretty close to my prediction, and we'll see how that goes. The second book I'm reading this month, I'm starting a brand new series. The series is The Tide Child, and the book is The Bone Ships. This is by R.J. Barker, and I'm going to be finishing that August 6th. This is 153,000 words and 512 pages, so a little bit above my normal book length. I don't know anything about this book. Truly, I have no concept about anything that it's about, and this is something that I do. I thoroughly enjoy getting sold on a book because of ratings and reviews and people that I trust telling me that this is a good series. So I like to dive into these things totally blank. I love not having any preconceived notions and really letting the book just take me on the journey that it wants to take me. I kind of do the same thing with movies. Like if there's a movie that I'm interested in, I won't even watch a trailer. I'll just go straight in without watching anything. So I can't wait to report that. I can't really give a good prediction though because I don't know what it's about. But I'd say maybe a 4 out of 5. We'll see. That's about my average rating. I think my average is like 3.95. So 4 is a good prediction. The next book is the last in the Lightbringer series, and this is The Burning White by Brent Weeks. This is a giant book. This is 375,000 words, 992 pages, and one of the big reasons that I'm not reading a ton of books this month. And I am not enjoying this book so far, and I'm probably going to hate it. I'm guessing I'm going to rate it like a 1.5, which is my lowest rating that I give to a book that I finish. I only save 1 out of 5s for did not finish. And I am going to finish. In part because I've read so much of it already and I'm invested in it. I have loved the story up until the last book. And things just really went downhill. The last book I felt like totally jumped the shark. The plot is getting convoluted. It's going through a lot of characters that I don't really care about. And it's ruined so much of the potential that I thought this series had. The magic system is so wonderful. I really like the main characters. I love the plot that was developing, and then it all just unraveled. Sadly, I just so wish the other way would make this series so exciting. And it's crazy that you could have the same like average score for a series, and it could be so much worse if the beginning books were really bad and they kept getting better and better and finished out awesome. But to see it go from awesome to bad is just, that's the wrong trajectory. And that's the trajectory that I'm on. I've also read so many reviews by people that said this book is horrible and it doesn't stick the landing. I've read things that say, like, what's the worst ending to a fantasy series? And I routinely see this book brought up. So my faith is about none. Powering through it anyways, even though it's a big book. The next book I'm reading this month is the winner of the pick contest on my YouTube channel, and that was 3 Parts Dead, part of the Craft sequence by Max Gladstone. I've never read a Max Gladstone book. I don't even know who that is, and I don't know anything about this book. So we'll see. It's a short one, though. It's only about 105,000 pages, 105,000 words, 336 pages. We'll see. I am optimistic, though, because last month my book of the month that was picked was Empire of the Vampire, and that was awesome. That was a 5 out of 5, so here's hoping that the same thing happens here, and that my viewers know what they're talking about. The next book is the second book in the Wandering Inn series, called Fae and Fare. This is by Pirate Abba, which is a pseudonym for somebody that nobody knows who that person is. I'm going to be finishing this book on August 22nd, and it is 531,000 words, 1,718 pages. That is the longest book that I have ever read by a long shot. I think the longest book I've ever read is about 1,200 pages, maybe 1,300. So, yeah, this thing is going to take me forever to read. It looks like it's going to take me... I don't even know, but it's going to take a long time. And yeah, we'll see. I'm not looking forward to the length, but I loved the last book in this series. The first one in the series, the initial Wandering Inn book. It was such a pleasant surprise, an easy 5 out of 5. I feel like more people need to know about the Wandering Inn, and because it's just such a fun series, and it's addicting. I can't stop thinking about that book, which is partly why I'm so excited about going to the second one. I literally can't stop thinking about it. I'm daunted by how long the series is. It's like if it was translated into regular books, they haven't all been moved over, it'd be something like 40 to 50 books, which is crazy. So, but if they're all as good as the first one, I can't wait to continue on this journey. And I've heard that they get better, that the author kept improving and improving. So I'm really excited to see how that goes and seeing if I am there with it. And the last book that I'm going to be finishing up this month is going to be the last in the Poppy War series, and that is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I should be finishing that on the last day of the month, on August 30th. And that is going to be 221,000 words, 656 pages. And I'm not optimistic about this book. I thought the last one was horrible, and I gotta think this one is not going to pick it up. Everybody's told me that a lot of people have said their second book is their favorite in the series, and that was my least favorite. But everyone says the last book is the worst in the series. So when everybody's saying something, they're onto something. So yeah, I predict like a 2 out of 5 maybe. We'll see, but yeah, the main character, I just don't care about anymore. I think she's just a bad person that doesn't have any pleasant traits about her. The plot is so predictable because it's just following historical events that I already know about. So I know what's going to happen, and that's unfortunate. The only thing that's really keeping me into this series, other than I'm already invested because I've already read 2 of the 3 books, is the magic system is fun and awesome. I love this idea of using drugs to access your gods. That's fresh. I've never seen anything like that before. So, yeah. So those are my 6 books. And if I keep reading these Pirate Abba books, then it's going to be like this for the foreseeable future. But I'm going to catch up pretty soon. I think there's only 7 books out in the series so far in print form. So yeah, if I read like one a month, then I'll be caught up by the end of the year, and then I'll be back to my normal schedule. So we'll see. So that's my list. Let me know your thoughts, and appreciate you watching. Thanks.